And today we are changing the way we think about something a lot of people fear, credit. Many see it as something to avoid, but what if it's actually a powerful tool for building wealth?
Yeah, our next guest says credit is king and it's all about using it the right way. So financial educator and author Ash Cash Xanthus is here to help us flip the narrative on credit. Good to see you in the pinstripes.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Okay, we got the power stripes on. Let's talk about the importance of changing our mindset about credit and think of it as a tool, not a trap, because people usually put things on credit because I'll pay for it later.
Right. No, absolutely. So, my name is Ash Cash. So I would love to say cash is king, but credit is actually king because if you know how to use it the right way, you have to change your mindset, right? Instead of using credit for liabilities, use credit for assets. And if you use it on the right assets, those assets will grow your wealth eventually. And so it's all about being strategic and responsible about how you use credit.
Okay. All right, but you know what? You also talk about how wealthy people use OPM, other people's money. What does that look like, though, in real life?
No, absolutely. So first and foremost, right, when you have that business idea, getting business funding, using 0% credit cards, again, to buy assets. But think about this, right? Most people buy their first homes. Like if you're a homeowner, they buy their first home to live in. Imagine taking out a mortgage or using credit to buy a multi-family home, rent out a portion of the home, live in the other portion. So now immediately that home is cash flowing. And so now you just that's a great example of how you could just use credit in order to build wealth. And if you keep doing it over and over, you can really build a big real estate portfolio using credit.
Okay, but credit scores. People live and die by their credit score. Sometimes my friends are like, what's your credit score? Is it over blah, blah, blah? So what are 3 things people can do right now to boost your credit score fast if you're finding yourself in a bit of a bind?
Yeah, so I tell people to remember these 5 numbers: 35, 30, 15, 10, 10, 35, 30, 15, 10, 10, which means 35% of your score is your payment history, 30% of your score is your usage ratio, 15% of your score is your credit length, 10% of your score is your credit mix, and 10% is new credit. So if you lower your credit utilization ratio, right, that is 30% of your score. If you pay your bills on time, set up auto pay, that's 35% of your score. Disputing and removing negative items off your credit report, that is another 35% of your score. So that's the majority of your score. If you do those 3 things, you will start to see your credit rise.
What did you say it was? 35, 30, 15, 10, 10? Is that what you said?
Yep, 35, 30, 15, 10, 10. I got a phone. 35, 30, 15, 10, 10.
35, 30, 15, 10,
Suddenly I'm playing
10.
the lotto.
Okay, I got it. All right, but what are some of the biggest mistakes people make, though, with their credit cards?
Man. Yeah, so I would say the biggest mistakes is, number 1, maxing out credit cards, right? Remember that 30% is your usage ratio. And so if you max out your credit card, that's going to immediately lower your usage utilization ratio, which negatively impacts your score. Only paying the minimum. Paying the minimum on your card is like, it's like the worst thing you could do, because you will actually be paying that card for years and years to come, missing payments, overspending, and then not monitoring transactions, right? When you think about Uber Eats, Amazon, all the things that just is like automatic that you connect to your card, you might just be using your card, not paying attention to the transactions, and then the other one is applying for a lot of cards at once. This is a big mistake that a lot of people do, is that they apply for cards all at once, and that messes up your credit as well.
Well, sometimes they entice you when you go to the store and they're like, would you like to open a card and save 50% on your purchase? I'm like, well.
Right.
What if it's a new credit card that has a lower interest rate that you want to transfer your higher interest rate credit cards into? Is that bad?
I like that. I think that's a good thing to do. But again, it's all about being strategic. So you got to be mindful of it, right? And so if you've applied for things for other cards already, and it's going to be a hard inquiry on your score, then I would think about when to apply for it. But if it's actually you haven't applied for anything, and it's going to help you save on some money, then absolutely, I would definitely do that.
There you go.
Got it.
All right, Ash, good to see you as always, my friend. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
Thank you.
35, 30, 15, 10,
Yeah,
10.
there you go.
All right.
9:38, everybody.